Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. It is good to be joining you. I wanted to be live on Monday, and I just could not stay awake. We have an interesting day of news to get to. We're going to end with the big story, which is the 2021 Mayoral Race. We're going to start with Bill Cosby, though. And so Bill Cosby was released from prison today following a Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision to overturn his conviction. The court ruled that the prosecutor who brought the case was bound by his predecessor's agreement not to charge Cosby. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court said today that District Attorney Kevin Steele, who made the decision to arrest Cosby, was obligated to stand by his predecessor's promise not to charge Cosby, even though there was no evidence that that agreement was ever put into writing. Bill Cosby was arrested in 2015 after new evidence, which was Cosby's deposition during a lawsuit from Andrea Constand, was unearthed. Cosby was convicted on 3 felony counts of aggravated indecent assault in 2018, of drugging and assaulting Andrea Constand in 2004, and was serving a 3 to 10-year sentence. And if you can remember, he was actually recently denied to be let out early because he was refusing to register as a sex offender. He has served nearly 3 years of that sentence. Now Cosby is a free man and released on a procedural issue at 83 years old. This obviously doesn't come without controversy, as Bill Cosby was still found guilty of these crimes by a jury, but was released on a technicality. Amber Tamblyn, an actor and founder of Time's Up, an advocacy group for sex crime victims, tweeted, "I am furious to hear this news. I personally know women who this man drugged and raped while unconscious. Shame on the court and their decision." While Cosby Show co-star Felicia Rashad tweeted, "Finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected." And of course, there is a lot more controversy going further than that. Again, this is not saying Bill Cosby was innocent of those charges. Instead, this is saying those charges were illegally filed against him. And this also bars future charges from that case to be pressed on him, or to be charged on him, I should say. All right. Now on to our next story here. So a week ago in Lone Key County, Arkansas, a 17-year-old Hunter Britton was shot and killed by police. Within seconds of being pulled over by Sergeant Michael Davis, Britton would be shot and killed. According to an account by 16-year-old Jordan King, who was with Britton at the time in the passenger seat of the vehicle, the two of them were working on repairs to a truck's transmission and were pulled over by Sergeant Michael Davis after driving away from a body shop at about 3 a.m. on June 23rd. King told local ABC affiliate KATV News that the truck wouldn't properly shift in the park. So what Britton did was he went to the back of the truck with the drug of antifreeze to prop up behind the truck's tire so that it wouldn't roll backwards and strike Davis's vehicle. That's when Davis fired shots at Britton, according to King. Davis didn't tell him to stop or get on the ground. He just shot him. The sheriff, John Staley, has voiced his support for releasing the body cam footage of the incident. Although body cam footage still hasn't been released, police are apparently not commenting until an investigation is done. Body cam footage shouldn't take this long to get processed. It's pretty simple to me as well here. So like employers have access to their cameras anytime they want. You work for somebody, they probably have cameras in their business they can access anytime they want. We, the taxpayers, pay police. Therefore, we should have public access to all records, including body cam footage, no questions asked. The police unions, of course, have never let that happen, but that is something we've been saying for a while here now. These public records, taxpayer-funded things like the police and fire department and all that should be fully accessible by the people who pay them, which are the taxpayers. If we pay you, we should have access to your records. It's fairly simple to me. But now I want to get into the main story. But before I do get into the main story, I'd like to play this little gem for you because this was pretty great. If you're from Buffalo, you probably know exactly what is coming. This is one of the funnier videos we've seen from the fallout of the mayoral election. So it's all right. I don't think it's going to be loud enough. We'll just scratch that. We're going to go. I'm sorry, guys. I thought it was going to be louder than that. We're just going to go. So We're going to get into the main story. The Buffalo, New York 2021 mayoral race is shaping up to be a long tooth and nail battle. Mayor Brown lost his primary election to self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist candidate India Walton. India and her team took a direct action approach and outworked Mayor Brown and his team, who seemingly took a hands-off approach and planned to win off of name recognition. I'm not really sure. I mean, yeah, he's a 4-term mayor, but there was no campaign, right? Byron Brown refused to debate India Walton during the primary race. The day after the primary election, developers and others with business in the city called on Byron Brown to run a write-in campaign. Carl Palladino, who is very outspoken on certain issues against Mayor Brown, was one of the first people, in fact, to urge this write-in campaign. Brown has taken steps to try and distance himself from the disgraced former school board member and failed governor candidate. However, Brown has had no issues taking money from Carl and Billy Palladino for his campaigns in the past, or even hosting events at places owned by them. Just last year, he held a fundraiser at 500 Pearl, a Palladino-owned business. Spectrum News has reported Brown and Walton could spend an upwards of $2 million on this election, as Buffalo, New York is becoming the unofficial battleground for what Jake O'Donnell called the soul of the Democratic Party. Byron Brown, for who all intents and purposes is a career politician and has deep connections here and could attract big money donors, obviously, as he already has. While Walton's grassroots approach has allowed her to build a national following and relies on small donations, right? So while some look at this as a battleground for the Democratic Party, for us here in Buffalo, we have to look at it as a battle for our future. The national spotlight is on us once again. All right? Seriously. There's no denying now the spotlight's on this mayoral race. The whole country's watching. Everybody involved in the Democratic Party is watching this race, right? We have a choice to make between the status quo and shaking things up a bit and trying something new. What we do know is Mayor Brown has been the mayor for the last 15 years, and at the end of this year will make 16 years. All right, he has had 16 years to make Buffalo what he has envisioned. And right now in 2021, we are the third poorest city. Rent prices have been skyrocketing over the past 6 months or so. Crime is high. Violent crime is running rampant. And missing persons are seriously, like, you can't go anywhere without seeing a missing persons case either online or on the news here. If Byron Brown had a plan to fix the city, he either didn't execute it or his plan has had the opposite effect, because we have seen police budgets increase while crime has also increased. Now, the way I was explained to this by many, many people, the more money we put on police, the more crime will be solved. Well, that has not been the case under Mayor Brown. At least under Walton, what we know will happen is we will get a new police commissioner, which I think is key. And I think Byron Brown should have severed his ties with Byron Lockwood a long time ago. He should have severed his ties with John Evans a long time ago. Unfortunately, now the city has paid the price. Obviously, we have paid the price as citizens of the city. And it's going to be interesting to see how this mayor's race plays out, because it's going to be dirty. It's going to be long. It's going to be bad. I mean, we've already seen the slander being thrown around on social media. I mean, yeah, of course, there's lots of us that make fun of Mayor Brown. We've been doing it for a few years now, and I get that. But what we've seen is people taking shots at India Walton. I mean, ex-boyfriends taking shots at her. That shouldn't be taken, guys. What happens in your private life should not affect this. And I get it. She's a public figure now. So WKBW running that story where I believe she had to pay back money from an overpayment from welfare, and I believe she got fired from a job or something like that because of a physical dispute. So she's a real person. These are things that happen, right? That in itself doesn't bother me. It's the blatant attacks in the social media that bothers me, where like ex-boyfriends are coming up, trying to leak pictures, trying to say all this. What you guys do, what happens between you two and your love life does not matter here, right? And we've seen this with Curiel Horn, too, who is a beloved member of the activist community here in Buffalo. Curiel Horn, of course, is a former Buffalo police officer. She spent 19 years with the Buffalo Police. She just got her pension this year, and she has been floated around as a possible police commissioner under a Walton mayoralship. But she has an ex-boyfriend and a few of his buddies trying to spread stuff about him all over local news. Guys, these are things you need to see where your information is coming from. See, a lot of these people are trolls with fake accounts. They're exes with grudges. So take anything you're reading with a grain of salt. That is what we have for you guys tonight. I love all of you. Of course, we're not endorsing a mayoral candidate. We will have more on this mayor's race coming up later on this week. But thank you very much. You guys have a great day. Bye.